If you own a Ford, there is something your mechanic already knows about your car that you probably don't. It is not something they are hiding from you exactly, but it is the kind of thing that never quite comes up during an oil change. Mechanics who work on Fords day in and day out start to notice patterns. The same jobs come back through the shop doors week after week. The same warning lights, the same strange noises, the same failed parts. And the frustrating thing is that most of these problems are not random. They are predictable. They happen on specific engines, specific model years, specific trim levels, and if you know what to watch for, you can often catch them before they turn into a $500 repair or a $2,000 repair or something worse. Ford makes some genuinely great vehicles. The F-150 is the best-selling truck in America for a reason. The Explorer, the Escape, the Bronco, these are popular vehicles that millions of people trust with their daily commutes and road trips and family hauls. But popularity does not mean perfection. And when the same model sells in the millions, even a small percentage of problem vehicles represents a massive number of frustrated owners. This video is for every Ford owner who wants to stay ahead of the game, and for anyone thinking about buying a used Ford who wants to know exactly what they might be walking into. We are going to go through the problems mechanics see most often on Ford vehicles. Not freak occurrences, not one-in-a-million failures, but the recurring issues that show up constantly in independent shops and dealerships across the country. By the end of this video, you will know what to watch for, when to worry, and what questions to ask the next time your Ford goes in for service. Let's get into it. Problem 1. The notorious 6.0 and 6.4 PowerStroke diesel failures. Let's start with the one that every diesel mechanic dreads seeing pull into the bay. The 6.0-liter PowerStroke diesel, used in Ford Super Duty trucks from 2003 through 2007, is widely regarded as one of the most problematic diesel engines ever put into a production pickup truck. Its successor, the 6.4-liter PowerStroke used from 2008 through 2010, was not much better. Mechanics who specialize in diesel work see these engines with almost clockwork regularity, and the failure modes are well documented at this point. The 6.0's core weakness is the relationship between its EGR cooler and its oil cooler. The EGR cooler pushes hot exhaust gases back into the intake manifold to reduce emissions, but it is prone to internal cracks that allow coolant to mix with exhaust gases. When that happens, the coolant system gets contaminated, the oil cooler clogs, the engine overheats, and eventually the head gaskets blow. By the time most owners notice something is wrong, the damage has already cascaded through multiple systems. A full rebuild on a 6.0 can run anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000, depending on how bad the contamination has gotten. The 6.4 PowerStroke has its own version of these problems, along with a tendency to crack pistons under hard use, and a DPF regeneration system that forces unburned diesel fuel into the oil, diluting it over time. Mechanics check the oil on 6.4 powered trucks religiously because the fuel contamination can shorten engine life dramatically if oil change intervals are pushed. If you own one of these trucks and it is currently running fine, do not wait for symptoms. Get the cooling system inspected, ask about a coolant flush and oil cooler inspection, and consider the well-known EGR delete and coolant filter upgrades that independent shops have been performing on these trucks for years. Problem 2. Transmission shutter and failure in the 6-speed dual-clutch PowerShift. This is one of the most infamous transmission problems in Ford's recent history, and it affected a massive number of vehicles. The Ford PowerShift 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission was used in the Fiesta from 2011 through 2019, and the Focus from 2012 through 2016. On paper, a dual-clutch transmission offers the fuel efficiency of a manual with the convenience of an automatic. In practice, the PowerShift was a nightmare for a significant portion of owners. Mechanics describe the symptoms the same way every time: shuddering during acceleration, hesitation when pulling away from a stop, jerky low-speed behavior, and in more serious cases, outright slipping or failure to engage gears properly. The root cause involves the dry clutch design, which is sensitive to heat and wear in ways that wet clutch dual-clutch transmissions are not. The transmission software was updated multiple times trying to manage the problem, but the hardware limitations were real. Ford eventually faced class action lawsuits and a settlement program over these transmissions, but many owners still found found themselves dealing with recurring issues even after repairs. Mechanics who see these vehicles frequently will tell you that software reflashes buy time, but rarely solve the underlying problem permanently. If you are shopping for a used Focus or Fiesta from these model years, get the transmission thoroughly inspected before you buy. If you already own one and are experiencing shudder, address it sooner rather than later, because degraded clutch material creates contamination that accelerates failure. Problem 3. Spark plug ejection in the 2-valve 4.6 and 5.4 Triton V8 engines. Here is a problem that mechanics find almost darkly comedic because of how it happens. The 2-valve versions of Ford's modular V8 engines, specifically the 4.6-liter and 5.4-liter Triton found in F-150S, Expeditions, and other full-size vehicles from the late 1990s through the mid-2000s, have a design flaw that causes spark plugs to eject themselves from the cylinder head while the engine is running. Not loosen, not back out slowly, actually shoot out of the head under compression pressure. The reason is simple. These engines use only 4 threads to secure the spark plug in the aluminum cylinder head. Most engines use 6 to 8 threads. 4 threads in soft aluminum is simply not enough to hold a plug under the repeated thermal cycling and pressure an engine experiences, especially as mileage climbs. When a plug ejects, it takes the threads with it, leaving a smooth hole in the head. Driving the truck at that point is not an option. The fix involves a thread repair kit that installs a steel insert into the damaged hole, and experienced mechanics can perform this repair without removing the head. But it is still time-consuming, and doing all 8 plugs on a 5.4 as a preventive measure, and before they eject, became a standard recommendation in many shops. 5.4 also had a separate but related issue with spark plugs breaking during removal on the 3-valve version used from 2004 onward. The plug design changed, and plugs became seized into the head over time, snapping off during service and requiring extraction tools and significant labor. Problem 4. Timing chain tensioner. Failure on the 5.4 3-valve engine. Staying with the 5.4-liter Triton, but moving to the 3-valve version used in F-150S and Expeditions from 2004 through 2010, mechanics put timing chain issues near the top of their list of recurring Ford headaches. This engine uses a timing chain rather than a belt, and conventionally that means you should never have to replace it. The problem is not the chain itself, it is the plastic cam phasers and the tensioner system that keeps the chain at the correct tension. The cam phasers are part of Ford's variable valve timing system, and they rely on oil pressure to function correctly. When the phasers wear out or the oil passages leading to them become restricted, which happens faster than it should on these engines, the timing chain gets slack. The sound is unmistakable to any experienced mechanic, a rattling noise on cold startup that may quiet down once the engine warms up and oil pressure builds. Many owners hear this noise and assume it is normal cold start behavior. It is not. It is the timing chain slapping against the guides while the phasers are starved for oil. Left unaddressed, the chain will skip timing and the engine will run rough, set multiple trouble codes, and eventually suffer serious internal damage. The repair on a 5.4 3-valve is substantial. Cam phasers, tensioners, guides, and the chain itself, and labor costs alone push the total into the thousands when you factor in how much has to come apart to get there. Regular oil changes with quality oil are the best prevention, and the moment you hear that cold start rattle, get it diagnosed immediately. Problem 5. EcoBoost engine carbon buildup and high-pressure fuel system issues. Ford's EcoBoost turbocharged engines, particularly the 1.5, 1.6, and 2.0-liter 4 cylinders used across the Escape, Fusion, Edge, and Explorer lineups, brought turbocharged performance and improved fuel economy to a wide range of everyday vehicles. But they brought a persistent problem along with them: carbon buildup on the intake valves. This is an issue that affects all direct injection engines, not just Ford's, but mechanics see it frequently enough on EcoBoost vehicles that it has become a standard maintenance conversation in shops. In a traditional port-injected engine, fuel washes over the intake valves on every injection cycle, naturally cleaning away carbon deposits. In a direct injection engine, fuel goes straight into the cylinder, bypassing the valves entirely. Oil vapor from the crankcase ventilation system still coats those valves, but nothing washes it away. Over time, typically between 40,000 and 80,000 miles depending on how the vehicle is driven, carbon deposits build up on the backs of the valves thick enough to restrict airflow and cause rough idle misfires misfires, and power loss. The only solution once the deposits have formed is a walnut blasting procedure, where the intake manifold is removed and abrasive walnut shell media is blasted onto the valves to scrub them clean. It is effective, but not cheap, and it has to be repeated on a maintenance schedule if you plan to keep the vehicle long-term. Some shops recommend catch cans as a preventive measure to reduce the oil vapor entering the intake system in the first place. Problem 6. Four-wheel drive and transfer case. Problems on F-150s and Explorers. Four-wheel drive systems on Ford trucks and SUVs generate a consistent stream of repair work, and mechanics who work on F-150s and Explorers will tell you that the transfer case and shift-on-the-fly systems are among the more failure-prone components on these vehicles. The electric shift transfer cases used across multiple generations of these vehicles are sensitive to both mechanical wear and electronic gremlins, and distinguishing between the two is not always straightforward. Common complaints include the four-wheel drive system failing to engage or disengage properly, getting stuck between two-wheel and four-wheel modes, grinding noises when switching modes, and the notorious grinding or shuddering felt during tight, low-speed turns when the front axle is engaged without the system properly disengaging. That last symptom, sometimes called driveline bind, occurs when the four-wheel drive system remains partially engaged during normal driving, and the drivetrain fights itself through turns. On Explorers using Ford's AWD system, the rear differential clutch packs are a well-known wear item that mechanics see regularly, especially on vehicles that have spent their lives being used only in two-wheel drive mode, which can allow the rear clutch packs to become glazed from disuse. The fix requires removing the rear differential and replacing the clutch packs, and it is a significant labor investment. Keeping the four-wheel drive system exercised regularly, even just briefly activating it once a month, helps prevent the clutch glazing issue. Problem 7. Rear axle seal leaks and differential problems. This one might sound mundane compared to ejecting spark plugs and blowing head gaskets, but rear axle seal leaks are one of the most consistently seen issues on Ford trucks and SUVs, and mechanics flag them at virtually every multi-point inspection. The rear axle seals on Ford's solid rear axle trucks, the F-150, F-250 Ranger, and others, are known to seep and leak as mileage builds, particularly on vehicles that see towing or off-road use. The reason this matters beyond the inconvenience of a small leak is what happens when enough gear oil escapes. Rear differential gear oil serves two purposes: lubrication and cooling. As the oil level drops, the differential gears and bearings run hotter and with less protection. Owners who ignore a small leak and never check the differential oil level have ended up with destroyed ring and pinion gears and failed bearings that could have been prevented by a simple seal replacement that costs a fraction of what a full differential rebuild runs. Mechanics also see chatter from the rear limited slip differential on Ford trucks more often than they would like. Ford's limited slip uses a friction modifier in the gear oil to control how the clutch packs engage, and when the oil is not changed on schedule or the wrong fluid is used during a top-off, the clutch packs start chattering noticeably during low-speed turns. The repair is usually as simple as draining and refilling with the correct fluid and friction modifier additive, but only if it is caught before the clutch packs themselves are damaged. Problem 8. MIFR touch and sync system failures. No list of Ford problems would be complete without acknowledging the sync and MIFR touch infotainment issues that plagued Ford vehicles throughout the early to mid-2000s. Mechanics and owners alike suffered through years of frozen screens, random reboots, unresponsive touchscreens, Bluetooth connectivity failures, and navigation systems that refused to function reliably. The MIFR touch system, introduced in 2010 and used heavily through 2014 and 2015, was ambitious for its time, but deeply unreliable in practice. Ford issued numerous software updates trying to address the instability, and some updates helped, but not consistently and not permanently. The underlying hardware, including the APIM module that controls the sync system, proved to be a genuine failure point. Mechanics have replaced large numbers of APIM modules on vehicles in this era, and the units are not inexpensive. Owners who tried to navigate Ford's dealer update process often found it time-consuming and frustrating, with some updates making problems worse before better. The later Sync 3 system, introduced around 2016, was a significant improvement and brought most of the reliability problems under control. But if you are buying a used Ford from 2010 through 2015 with a touchscreen infotainment system, budget for the possibility of infotainment repairs and test the system thoroughly before purchase.
The bottom line.
Ford builds vehicles that a huge number of people rely on every day, and most of those vehicles deliver years of dependable service. But every manufacturer has patterns, and Ford's patterns are now well documented by the mechanics and shop owners who work on these trucks and SUVs constantly. The diesel PowerStroke issues, the PowerShift transmission problems, the ejecting spark plugs, the timing chain rattles, the EcoBoost carbon buildup, the four-wheel drive gremlins, the rear axle leaks, and the infotainment failures, these are not isolated unlucky events. They are the predictable outcomes of specific design decisions, and knowing about them is your first line of defense. The most powerful thing you can do as a Ford owner is stay informed and stay proactive. Change your oil on schedule, use the correct fluids in every system, and do not ignore unusual sounds or warning lights hoping they will resolve on their own. When a mechanic points out a small leak or a beginning rattle, take it seriously, because the difference between a manageable repair and a catastrophic one is usually just a matter of how early you caught the problem. If you found this video useful, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new release. We cover real-world automotive issues for real vehicle owners, without the dealership spin. Drop your questions or your own Ford experiences in the comments below. We read everyone, and if you know a Ford owner who needs to see this, share it with them right now. The information in this video could genuinely save them thousands of dollars.